coordinating a trip to Mexico, and he's going to meet with a couple of different teams of architects and construction companies and real estate brokers to get a better understanding if building and or rehabbing hotels, apartments, condos makes financial sense. Also working with these teams to find buildings like standalone buildings to pitch United States triple net tenants to. Are you sure and confident that the JV strategy can work outside the United States? Has Sharif done this before? Please elaborate.
For me, Mexico is more for vacation than investing, but the JV works everywhere in the world. I told you, actually, we have an investor in the fund. I don't want to disclose names. She inherited a building in Chinatown, Malaysia from her dad. And she took the training and she JV and she went and she told me, I'm going to sell the building. I said, well, try to call a couple American companies. Downstairs, it's a 7-Eleven and upstairs is a hotel brand that operates in California that took her building. This is many, many years ago and she's been running and this has become the best deal ever for her. So it will work in Mexico. There is no doubt. You can go to Cancun or Cabo, and as soon as you leave the airport and you start driving, you're going to see Hilton Garden Inn. You're going to see, well, they don't have 7-Elevens like in Cancun. They have what's called OXXO, McDonald's. You'll see Burger King. You won't see Taco Bell. They won't make it there. But so yes, you can do it. But I wonder, why do you want to go to Mexico to do it? Going outside the United States brings another level of exposure and liability that we can control, such as, number one, complication with taxes. As soon as you receive a penny as a US citizen from outside the United States of America, you must fill out a form, I think it's 5490, I don't know, but you'll have to look it up, to disclose to them, I received money in Mexico. And now IRS flags this as this guy is moving money across borders. What's going on? Number one, are we getting all the money? Is he claiming all the income? Number two, is he adding expenses? What kind of expenses? Is he claiming those trips? Are those business trips? Or is he staying in hotels? What kind of hotels? These all inclusive? My gosh, you'll never finish. You're just handing to the IRS an opportunity for them to audit you. Now, let's talk about Mexico. When you enter Mexico, they're going to, on the actual custom card, any country in the world, are you here for business or for pleasure? Now, you put for pleasure, but you're coming for business, and somehow somebody investigates. And if you think they don't investigate today, let me tell you, it is so easy for the US federal agents to investigate anything. And don't think you're too small. They're looking for anything now. They're looking for anything. And they're going to see you entered as pleasure and you keep entering and leaving, and you are said something wrong. The worst with Mexico, they're going to say you need to apply for something called MT4 or something like this, that you're doing business there. And they're going to ask you, are you filing taxes? And now in the customs, when you arrive cross border to Mexico, unless you're going through Tijuana, which is a bit of a zoo, but usually you're going to be flying in. And when you come in, they're going to look, oh, you have an MT4. Let's see in the system, has he filed taxes for Mexican taxes? You haven't? Go to secondary. That means you're going to go to a section where they're going to say, where are your taxes here? You're doing business here. You haven't filed taxes. When did you start the business, etc.? Do you have any cash? Are you living with cash? Can we now search your stuff? I wish I had my passport handy. I'll show you, because I used to go in and out of Cancun so much because I lived in Cancun for a big part of my life. So what happened is several times they stopped me and said, okay, can we search the bag? Can we search this? And one time I had a lot of cash with me and they had me counted on the table and the two people looking at me with the camera. And thank God it was less than $10,000. And they said, why are you bringing so much money? I'm buying a Wave Runner. I mean, short of what color and what may. So I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm trying to bring reality to you. Stay within the United States or US territories. It's easier, it's safer, rights of ownership, no mafia. God forbid they discovered, Bill, you brought in a McDonald's there or something. You know what they do? I'm going to tell you, it's a wonderful country. Heck, my kids are half Mexicans. What more do you want? Somebody comes to you and says, you need to pay us X or we're going to whack you. I've known people that they had owned subways, and the guy left and moved to San Diego because they told him, you have 16 subways, you're making too much money. We're going to send a little young guy every week and you need to put in an envelope cash for us. And he was paying his taxes, and he called Hacienda in Cancun and said, this is happening. And they said, well, you need to pay us the taxes. We don't know what you're talking about. Call the police. The police is in on it. And sorry, but this is reality. Okay. So my suggestion, go to Mexico, enjoy, take a look. Why not? It adds to your knowledge, but all roads should and would bring you back to the great United States of America. If anybody want to tell me it's not great, have them take a trip somewhere and then come back and compare. Let's compare notes. Especially when it comes to real estate, because we can get loans here, we can flip the properties faster. And when you call a national tenant and you say, I got a property in Cabo San Lucas in the corner of this and this, they have the international division. International division will have to do some studies because they're in charge of Latin America in general. They're lost. So very hard to do these deals. Stay here, please. But enjoy Mexico.
Have fun.
Yes.